Welcome to Cascade Conversations. Join the Cascade Partners team and our network of trusted advisors as we work to demystify the details, terminology, and strategies of acquisitions, divestitures, financings, performance improvement, and restructuring.
Let's go shift to the cultural piece that's a little bit more qualitative in nature. So you'd mentioned the leaky pipe, understanding costs. I think everyone kind of understands that. Culturally, when you provide these tools and the care and showing your employees that you care about their well-being and obviously reducing costs for your company, it creates a culture of care, in my opinion. How do you see that when you're working with companies? The qualitative aspect of what you're doing.
I mean, obviously, it's very difficult to measure it, but what we find is most people don't understand their benefits. They don't know the difference between a deductible, a copay, co-insurance, out-of-pocket max. I mean, it's a challenging situation to be in. So you may have great benefits and providing great care for your employees, but your employees don't know about it. They just know when they get a bill and they see it's X amount of dollars and our insurance stinks. Well, if you're able to educate those employees on how best to pick the plan that fits them and their situation, as well as giving them tools to find the best care, it's almost like Amazon. You know, people go on Amazon to find different things that they're trying to buy, and they're going to find the best value for the lowest cost. Yeah. It's the same thing with healthcare, but what's happened over time is that people just take their card, they go and they submit it to the provider, and then 3 weeks later they get a bill and they have no idea what it was. So we try to be more upfront and teach them, and then that makes the employer a better employer in caring about their people.
A steward of their people, yeah.
Correct.
So when you're actively engaged with the client, we'll get back to the sell side. Are you providing that kind of concierge level of service? Because when I'm a consumer of healthcare, I put my card in just you described, and then I have this hope strategy. Hope I don't get a big bill, right? Are you helping people even when you're actively managing a client?
Yes, it's more constant education. You know, everybody has those conversations on the renewal. They have their open enrollment time where they pick their plan, and most of the time people spend 5 minutes to 10 minutes to say, hey, what did I have last year? Just check me down for this year. Well, we kind of take a little bit more in-depth approach where we're actually having conversations with the people and asking them questions about, hey, what's going on with your life? What sort of medical things are you going through? What kind of prescription drugs? And then looking at the plans that are offered and picking the right ones, and then ongoing education of when you're going to the doctor, here's questions to ask, here's things that you need to know about, here's different tools to find the best care. And that's been lacking in the industry for quite a long time, and that's starting to change because people are a little bit more aware of what things cost, especially with the environment we're in now.
Yeah. Well, part of this passion I have about preparation, as an ex-military engineer, I like checklists, I like things to be prepared and help our companies. When's the right time for them to start investigating what you're suggesting in benefits and how it can affect the sell side process?
I mean, I would say at minimum 12 months before you're even thinking about it, preferably 18, because that gives you the opportunity to dive into the details, find out what's wrong, and actually start strategizing to put a plan together to minimize those increases, make your employees better aware of their benefits. And when you're in that sales side, when that buyer's coming in, they see that you kind of have that line item tightened up.
Right.
Which obviously, helps in the valuation.
Helps in the valuation, and it's a multiplier effect, right?
Absolutely.
That cash flow is.
I mean, an example I'll give you is one of the clients we work with, we saw they were paying about 18% above benchmark. And so we got involved, reduced their cost by $100,000, which in a five times multiple, yep. That's $500,000 that was put back into the business that they wouldn't have had that opportunity if they didn't look into that particular line item.
How do you work well with investment banks? How can we bring you into a process even sooner, right? A lot of times, because we're deep, is it introductions in advance, or how have you worked with investment banks in the past?
Well, we're just kind of an extension of you guys, getting us involved early to have those conversations. You guys continue to do what you're doing on your side of the business and creating value and doing that, and let us review that, do a due diligence report, seeing where there could be some red flags that they may not even be aware of themselves, but we know that the buyer is going to look into it.
Right.
And again, just be that extension of you guys. We don't need to be a meeting with a client. Just give us the data and let us review it, and then create some checklists and some things to do strategically in order to make it a better opportunity for that company when they're getting ready to sell.
Yeah. One of the things Cascade prides itself on culturally is we like to be a resource for our clients and prospective clients. So oftentimes, even before we've won a mandate, I like to encourage people to use us as a resource. What's going on in the marketplace? Where are things trading? What's going on in the industries? You culturally are like that as well, right? I mean, you can be a resource for folks if they have questions and want to learn more about what you're doing and all the experience you have. Is that a fair assessment? Yep. So if people want to reach out to you, you would be glad to take their call and help them think through this, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We will do a free assessment on your benefit plans. There's no obligation that you need to work with us. Again, we're going to be a resource. We're going to try to help you because, myself as well as the rest of my team, we're passionate about making companies better consumers of healthcare as well as their employees, because I feel the more you understand your benefits, the more you use them, the healthier you will be, which helps you be a healthier employer, makes you the employer of choice, and it just makes the whole process, because it's an area where people just are afraid of, and I think it's an area that needs to be addressed, and I think it's super important.
Well, this is fantastic. I appreciate you taking the time. I applaud you on your passion for serving people and serving businesses and creating cultures of health and wellness. I'm grateful as a professional friend, but mostly as a personal friend.
Well, it's been great, Eric. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Jason Glime, Spartan Benefits Advisors. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us for Cascade Conversations. For more information, please visit cascade-partners.com or call 248-430-6266.